So what I found the most interesting thing about me building the Reciprocity Project, the idea is to create a platform to create non-rejectable research papers and make sure that it's really fun as you're doing it. But the most curious thing that I've found out as I've interacted, I thought that this would be directed towards junior scholars more, or people just coming into the profession. But it's often that the people that listen to me the most and that follow along with the journey are very senior professors that have learned many of the lessons that I have learned. And many of the junior people don't understand what they don't know. And they actually haven't got to the moment of realizing all of the different insights and problems that you experience. They often buy into the logic that you can work hard to get ahead, that there is an efficient way to do things, that you simply just have to work everybody else out. And what happens when you follow that logic and everybody does this is that you eventually burn out. And you eventually reach a moment where you just can't do it anymore. Or you've heard no so many times that you stop believing in all of it. And so there's two responses that happen often. You leave, which I think is the majority of the people, or you have some sort of breakdown of sorts. You might call it a burnout or breakdown or whatever, but it's just coming to terms with the way that you view the world is no longer the way that it actually is, and you have to change the way that you view your world. And if you're not being coached, if somebody's not telling you, wait a minute, all of this is a little bit more challenging than you thought it was, you're going to absorb it, and most people just exit out. I've seen it so every person that is in this profession for a long time has seen it, and they see a lot of it. And that's why I actually was really taken aback, and why I wanted to make a difference with this. I realized it was very difficult for me, and I wanted to change the way that we viewed PhD research and make it a fun, really exciting experience. And many of you are probably thinking, of course it's fun. You get to just study the things that you want to do. No, the solid scientific evidence at this moment shows that it's more, it creates more depression, anxiety, and problems like that than even the death of a loved one. And that's the research that's showing right now. Whether you believe that, that's a different story, but that's what the research shows right now. And so the challenge is often dealing with, the identity struggles of what this all means, the taking a step back, the realizing that there's a lot more complexity to all of this, and there's a lot more humility that you have to have. All of those things that is very challenging for most of us to actually grapple with. And the other thing that you often deal with is that there is no end point, right? I think that's what's often sold, and that is often told to you, is that there is this sort of moment where glory happens and everything comes together. And the truth is, it's not the way that it actually works. What happens is you have to change the way that you view the world, and you say that I'm just going to get back up and I'm going to try to enjoy things as much as I possibly can every single day, and ignore the rest of everything else that's going on around me. And that is a very different story. It doesn't mean that I don't work hard. You could see that I work hard by looking at their 6,000 videos that I've put out. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. That is me rushing off to work, doing this so that I can build this platform. And I've also spent an enormous amount of money and time, more money than that's embarrassing for me to talk about. And all of those things, when you look at this and you see how much is going on. In fact, it was very embarrassing at a family gathering this summer, and I was like, I just wanted to cry, because this was so much time and effort and money that was spent and put into this, when I was explaining it to other people. And this is what it means to actually do this. This is what it means to do research. This is what it means to move the needle, to actually do good stuff. It's embarrassing, it's tough, it's rigorous, and you just keep taking steps forward every day. And you have to ignore what everybody says about getting to a final destination and all of those kind of things that many people believe in. I think the majority, I would say almost everybody believes in that. But none of that is true. None of it is, that's the actual journey that you go through. And this journey that I'm going through is not unlike what almost every major researcher, every major scholar, innovator has gone through. The evidence is pretty clear now that all of this is very challenging. So how do you deal with it? What do? You simply just have to acknowledge that it exists and keep taking steps forward and ignoring all of those other things that are going on. And the sooner you get to this, and the sooner you stop paying attention to the logic that is sold to you before, and you start accepting the world as it is, the quicker it will be. And the problem is with junior scholars is they often don't realize that, and they haven't grappled with all of these issues yet. And so that takes a long time for you to grapple with these before you get to the moment of like, yeah, you know what, this is difficult. And I simply just have to figure out how to deal with this so I enjoy my life and who I am at any given moment. And until that happens, until you go through all of those moments, people are not going to resonate with this. And that's the challenge that I face every day with getting funding, with getting institutional support, getting all of those things, is people don't believe it because they haven't experienced it. Until you've experienced it and gone through it, then things change. Then you understand what this is about. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.